a beautiful day and I welcome you to the African News, a live broadcast from Canada. My name is Sandra Asante. Now top stories. Ethiopia horrific attack killed troops and civilians. In Sudan, skulls of body found rotten at the hospital morgue in Khartoum. Chad's President Deby dies fighting rebels at 68. I'll take a quick commercial break. I'll be back with the details of the story. Don't go anywhere. Now to our first story. An unknown number of troops and civilians, including children and women, have been killed and many others injured in severe and horrific attack in North Shewa zone of Amhara state in Ethiopia, local authorities have said. The attack displaced thousands who are sheltering in school in neighboring towns in the region. The zonal security chief Abara Makonnen told the BBC that the attack, which started on Thursday evening and continued over the weekend, occurred in 5 districts of the zone, about 250 kilometers from the capital, Addis Ababa. The head of communications for the regional state, Gizashio Mulanin, told the state media that attacks were severe and horrific. He blamed the Omoro Liberation Army, the Ola rebels, and other followers. Mr. Abera said a very large number of armed forces invaded the area. The zonal chief and local residents said the fighters, who were well armed in heavy artillery, burned down houses and killed people. He said the attacks were beyond the control of the federal security forces deployed to the area during previous attack in March, where more than 300 people were killed over several days. On Sunday, Ethiopia's defense ministry issued a statement saying the North Shewa, South Wollo and Omoro special zone in Amhara will be under its command. Ethiopia is due to hold the national elections in June, and there are fears at the unrest in Amhara and other regions and the aftermath of the major conflict. Separatist forces in Tigray could undermine the poll. In Sudan, at least 100 bodies thought to be killed in a crackdown on the sit-in protest in Khartoum nearly 2 years ago were found rotten in a hospital morgue, security sources said. The remains will probably be buried in a mass grave for this week. The undefined bodies kept at the morgue not far from the Khartoum airport began to decompose over the past few days because of the power cuts affecting Sudan's capital. Residents of the area had been nightly street protests to demand that the bodies be taken away because of the growing stench and health hazards. Security forces dismantled the sit-in outside the Sudanese Armed Forces headquarters in June 2019. The protests were intended to pressure the army's general, who removed longtime dictator Omar al-Bashir 2 months earlier in handing over the power to civilians. The incident has been the subject of several investigations to identify those responsible for the violence that led to the death and scores of protesters. The head of committee for the missing, Judge Al-Tayyib Al-Abbas, said on Monday that he wanted authority to test the DNA of the bodies at the morgue before their burial. The official said authorities selected a site outside Khartoum for the burial once a judicial permit is issued. The general and pro-democracy group who orchestrated mass protests in the months leading to Mr. al-Bashir's removal from the military-civilian transitional government months after the crackdown. The government says 87 people were killed, but opposition union of doctors say the number is close to 130 and scores of people were missing. Last November, authorities uncovered a mass grave close to the site of the sit-in. The bodies included at least 25 men who were killed and buried in an inhuman manner, according to the committee created by the Attorney General who looked into the missing. The sit-in attracted a wide range of Khartoum residents and hundreds of homeless people drawn by free food and medical care. Our last and final story. Chad's President Idris Deby, 66, died while commanding troops on the front line of fighters against northern rebels, an armed spokesman said on Tuesday. The announcement came a day after he was declared the winner of a presidential election for the 6th term. The military said Deby has been commanding his army at the weekend and its battle against rebels who launched a major incursion into the north of the country on election day. Derby, who was in power for 4 decades, had just breathed his last defending the sovereign nation on the battlefield at the weekend. Army spokesman General Azim Benadao Aguena said in a statement read out on state television. The cause of death was not yet clear. Derby's son, General Mahamat Kakas, 37, was named the interim head of state and will lead the National Council of Transition, said General Aguena. The military council, now headed by General Kaka, has already met the drawn up a transitional charter. General Aguena said as he announced a curfew and border closures, as well as the dissolution of the civilian government and elected parliament. This is where I draw the curtains on the African news. My name is Sandra Asante. Thanks for watching.